Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here or you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Also, very importantly, like this video in order to encourage us to put out more content. The Nigerian presidency has announced interim leaders as President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima are outside the country. Tinubu is on working leave, while Shettima is on an official visit to Sweden. This marks the continuation of their travels abroad during their first 100 days in office, during which they spent 28 days out of the country. In their absence, the presidency appointed Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Secretary to the Government of the Federation AGF Georgia Kume, and the ministers to take charge of the country's leadership. The presidency has emphasized that there is no leadership vacuum and that the country's leadership remains steady even while the president and vice president are abroad. The presidency, in a statement signed by Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, recalled a similar situation during the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. It reads, "It is important to note that the President and Vice President are fully engaged with the nation's affairs. Even while they are away, there is no leadership vacuum in the country." Tinubu left Nigeria on October 3 and is currently on a 2-week working vacation, while the vice president traveled to Sweden on an official visit, working for Nigeria. All state organs are functioning as usual. The Senate President, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, ministers and service chiefs are all in their respective positions, ensuring the smooth operation of a government. We had a similar situation in 2022 when former President Buhari and former Vice President Osinbajo were found to be simultaneously out of the country. President Buhari attended UNGA 77, while Osinbajo participated in the burial of Queen Elizabeth II. We have also experienced it during this administration between late April and early May this year. While President Tinubu was in London after visiting the Netherlands and Saudi Arabia, where he attended the World Economic Forum, Vice President Shettima left Nigeria, first of all for Nairobi to attend the International Development Association Heads of State Summit. After returning, he left for Dallas, Texas, to attend the US-Africa Business Summit, organized by the Corporate Council on Africa. President Tinubu returned home on May 8. During this time, the government's machinery did not halt. The Constitution, a testament to our adaptability in the virtual age, does not explicitly require the physical presence of either the president or the vice president in the country at all times to fulfill its duties. You all, what are your thoughts? Please let us know in the comment section. Before we go, let's take a look at a few reactions online. Chi Mary says, "Why is the vice president wearing a dress embroidered with the name Tinubu? Is that a mentality? Did you see Harris wearing a dress with Biden written on it? Nigeria is too backward, too bad." Kenena says, "Tom and Jerry in monkey government, poorest of a black race, mentally unbalanced leadership." Maxson Chukwueze, "All of them are traveling abroad as if something or someone is after them. So many state governors are also out of the country to God's nowhere. I suspect something bad or good is cooking and will soon explode. Meanwhile, it stated constitutionally that when the president and his vice are out of a country, then the Senate president should preside over the affairs of a country. Fear of the unknown is what's holding the FG, and that's why they said that the Senate president, SGF, and ministers should be in charge. Linus Inako says, these people are tired and are looking for any opportunity for citizens or revolutionaries to take over, but as it is, they have to clean their mess themselves. Even if they stay 2 more years, we'll wait for them to come back. Monachinso says, you sure say this guy is never jackpa? I dey fear o. When president no dey, na vice president go hold ground, even if things dey happen outside. Then go one government functionally to represent them, and this their travel don tire, don tey safe. Let's take a look at another comment from Edmond. Says, the first time I say I'm scared for Nigeria, Shettima should have sent Akpabio instead for the Sweden trip while he stays at home. Lack of coordination and priority. Exactly, must the vice president be the one to go? Since he knows that, his principal officer is not around, he should have just stayed behind and, sent someone else to go for this official function. And I don't even think this official function is so very, very important that they need to see the vice president at the function. But what do I know? Ifeanyi says, Nigeria is no country but a company. That's why there is no working constitution, no legit judicial system, and no law. Everything about Nigeria is a scam. Maybe their Western directors have unconstitutionally need 2 of them at the same time. John Okuba says, can some progressive intellectuals in Nigeria tell me the outcome of all these presidential visits by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and vice abroad simultaneously? Bola Ahmed Tinubu is on vacation also. He's not there for official responsibilities. He's just there to enjoy his life. What positive changes have it brought to Nigeria? In fact, what we are looking for in Sokoto lies in our Sokoto. We don't need foreign lecture before the fuel price can be reduced, for God's sake. Lastly, a comment from Yahya Daudu. Didn't the Constitution say who should be in charge in such situations? Or it says the presidency should appoint, and it's like the Senate has been shut down for fear of impeachment of the SP. So Nigeria is experiencing a leaderless situation right now. But what difference does it make? It really doesn't matter after all. You all, let me have your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that the president ought to have just put the Senate president in control of the state instead of just, saying both the Senate president, the secretary, and the ministers are in charge? Because that is not what the Constitution says. The Constitution says the third in command, who is the Senate president, should be in control. But now he's just putting all of them in charge while he's not in the country. It is not in the country. Both the president and the vice are not in Nigeria currently. You all, what do you think? Thank you very much for always listening and watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.